Hello, from wherever in the world you are watching, welcome to the Great British Mickey Waffle. As the excitement of a Disney World trip approaches, packing can often be a last-minute scramble, but fear not. Today we're going to be sharing our top last-minute packing tips to ensure you have a stress-free and magical journey. From essential items and that you simply can't forget to clever hacks that will keep you organised. We've got all the advice that you need. So now let's get started with the ultimate guide to last-minute packing for Disney World. Ready, set, pack.
Now my wheels in motion and my windows open with the wind blowing in my hair. I'm driving down the highway, gonna do this my way. I can feel it in the air. Here I
go. Hello everybody, happy Wednesday.
Is that what they call it, Ben? I've got to admit, in the space of the last 5 minutes, I think we've had the biggest technological meltdown known to mankind. Claire's had issues.
Even turning it off and turning it on back on didn't really help.
Yeah, but I was watching YouTube, waiting for the show to start, and then that never happened. I'm like, oh my word, we could be lonely here tonight. Like, it's not it's quite a bizarre thing.
I'm just glad it's Wednesday, even though it's felt like it's been one of those weeks.
Every day is like Friday.
Yeah, I've spent a lot of the past few days at St Pancras, unfortunately, not going to Disneyland Paris. So every time I've gone there, I've gone, oh, Paris, that would be nice to go, but maybe not for the Olympics.
No, maybe not at the moment.
So how are you, Claire?
I'd be better if my computer was working properly. And it's very frustrating because there's stuff that I can't see, so I have no idea what's going on tonight. I'm literally just here like a ghost.
Do you know what? I don't have a clue either. So this is going to be an interesting show tonight.
And I know that Simon was due to join us, and he may well just appear at some point, hopefully.
Yeah.
He also has the Gremlins.
He's got a few.
Talk of the devil. Hello,
Simon.
Hello.
Simon's got the Gremlins too, so it's just one of those nights, I think, and I haven't had a problem all day. I think it's just a weird moment.
Yeah.
But we're here. That's what matters.
See, I think the premise for tonight's show, we were going to help John, who hasn't been to Walt Disney World in nearly 5 years, how to pack for the last minute bits, because it's only a few weeks before you are out in Orlando.
Yeah, but I also think as well, rather than thinking selfishly about myself, I actually think this is a really good show where we can actually, what are the key things that you need to remember? What are the key things that maybe have changed in 5 years as well? And that for me has been such a difficult thing to grasp over the past few months is the fact that there's loads of things that are done slightly differently. And then even yesterday, we were talking in the car. I'm like, oh my word! Do I need to make a reservation for that, or do I need to do? And it becomes, you're then having to go and really sort of dig deep into what you're actually trying to achieve on a holiday. And actually, I've got to be honest, we're not planning anything except just going and just enjoying and see what happens.
Well, by now, I think if you're only a few weeks out, you would have booked your advanced dining reservations, so you've got a plan, so you know sort of what you're doing.
Yeah, so I've got no dining reservations.
Do you not?
No, not one, not even one.
Oh, we have just lost Claire. So
Claire's just logged out. She must have been thinking I had the reservation for Claire and the family at the at Topolino's or something, and now I've just spoiled that surprise that I haven't.
How are you, Simon?
Yeah, not too bad. It's been a busy few days for me in the office, but staying in the air conditioning for 2 days, so barely even noticed the heat when I was in there.
Not jealous at all. I think, Claire, are you back with us?
I am. I fixed my tech issues. I now know what's going on.
Yep.
And I feel like I'm part of it all again.
You don't feel like a guest. You feel part of the show.
Yeah. It feels weird when you can't see what's going on. I'm slightly concerned there's some gremlins and it means that people can't join us as well. I'm not
I'm
sure
thinking-
what's going
I'm-
on with
I'm-
YouTube.
Yeah, I think there might be something going on. So if you actually can watch and you can text us, then let us know if you're actually seeing what we're seeing, because this could be a rather lonely show.
Yeah.
And if you got it working, can you send it to your friends so we know whether they can
Yeah.
join or not?
That's a good call as well.
We've got Heather and we've got Carrie, which is
Yeah.
awesome, and
Yeah.
Robin. But that's kind of it at the moment, which is unusual.
Yeah.
Yes, it is, and that's what's baffling me at the moment.
Maybe it only works in America.
Who
It's,
knows?
it's like the was
Is it
the
like-
win-
It's like
the
Lightning
crowd.
Lane.
It's like the crowd. Yeah, another thing that's only available in the US.
Yeah.
It only works in America. Maybe that's what's happened.
Yeah.
That's all right. Like we've always said, it doesn't really matter if nobody's watching, nobody's listening.
We
We'll
would
still
still
do-
be here.
We still do the show anyway. So
That's true.
Carrie, you squeezed my baby boy yesterday. He's quite big. He's like 6'2" of him. So
Oh,
I just love seeing all of these pictures coming through of people seeing Morgan, Josh.
I know.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
And the hat he was wearing yesterday was not great. It's like perched on the top of his head. But he was in Club Cool for a change, which is cool.
Yeah. Maybe the gremlins are all because of the heat.
Yeah.
This
I'm
week
not,
has
I'm
been
not
quite warm.
sure. Yeah, I'm not sure.
No.
I still think there's something wider going on. So yeah, if you're catching up with this after the event, then you kind of understand why we're sort of trying to. You hear the click of the keyboards in the background, because we actually don't know. We haven't got a clue. And if you listen,
I was going to say, John, that's like normal, isn't it?
yeah,
Story of our life, John. Not a clue what's going on.
Yeah, isn't it just, Simon? And if anyone's listening to the podcast on Friday, you'd just probably
Good luck.
be glad you're listening on the podcast, because it's probably the best way this week.
Just put it on 2 times for the first 10 minutes or so. And then,
Yeah.
and then the problem is, if you listen on a faster speed, everyone sounds higher pitched.
Sounds like Alvin and the Chipmunks, doesn't it?
Yeah. Because I always used to listen to Lou Mangello's like 3-hour-long podcast sometimes. And
Did
it's like,
you?
yeah, to begin with.
I would never dream of putting Lou on high speed dubbing.
Yeah.
But then it was just very interesting that when during COVID, when I had a bit more time to listen through podcasts, it's like his voice sounds a lot deeper.
So now I know what he actually sounds like.
Yeah.
It's funny, Lou's voice is one of those things that Millie has always recognised, because obviously I've listened to it in the car for easily as long as she's been alive, so she knows Lou's voice incredibly well. It's really, really strange.
Yeah. I know we're probably going off topic. I'll go with Claire, because actually we used to, when we listened to Dibcast as a family, and I know we spoke about it in the 5th anniversary podcast that we did, but it was really funny because actually both of my kids were actually able to take off Grant in particular, and I know it was just like, it was one of them ones where you always had that big long Scottish hello and everything. So it was just and that's how that's the joy of doing things like this, and the joy of doing podcasts. You know, I'm probably, I'd imagine some people somewhere have been watching us for a while. You know, they're probably play games about what we'd say every week. You know.
Wow, yeah. Laura, you're not late. You're absolutely fine.
We've been waiting for you. You're all right.
You've missed all the technical drama. But,
that is true. So I was going to say, me and Becca were having a discussion earlier this week, because it's like 50-something days until our next trip.
Is it? That's a long time.
Do we all write a packing list? Because I know I don't. Becca does it for me, and she packs. So
really,
yeah, because apparently I'm not trusted.
Holiday princess here. Robin will wade in on the chat and say, I just rock up. I rock up with all the plans made, and I just go, where am I going today?
That's so funny.
I like that. I wish I could do that. I was just like, it was funny. Someone sent me a message before. It was just like, single digits, and I'm like, oh yeah, so it is. I hadn't even noticed. We're going on holiday in 8 days' time, and it's just like,
that's amazing.
The penny hasn't even dropped. The only thing that has dropped is the suitcases out of the loft. and that's it. That's basically the extent of which we're at.
Okay.
So we've had to buy a new suitcase because, funnily enough, 2 of our big ones are in America at the
The
moment.
ones next to them.
So yes, I've used my discount for blue light card discount for American Tourister.
Yeah.
But yes, we were at 11 days, and
Wow.
not a thing has been packed.
No.
And very much similar to our house, to everyone else's house. I do the packing.
Yeah.
Not in this house, Claire. If it
Aw.
isn't, if I don't pack what I want to take, it's tough. So you pack what you
That's
want
good.
yourself.
Well done,
Okay.
Alison.
I like
Yeah.
that.
But and we've always been like that. It's basically because I wouldn't settle if I didn't know that I put it in the bag myself.
Oh,
Mm.
that's kind of what I'm like a little
And
bit.
actually,
See,
I
for
just
me,
get-
I get to pack most of the hand luggage, so any of the electrical items, passports, and then we both seen what's gone in the bags.
Oh, are you the passport man?
Yeah.
Who are you, the passport holder, John?
oh yes,
What about
Passport
you?
and ticket.
No.
and the Esters.
Yesters.
And I have to know that that's all.
Airport dad.
That is it.
So
But
you-
do
you
you
don't
have
know
your
the story about
Esters
mine.
out?
And I
Do
do
you
have
keep
it.
your Esters?
Oh yes,
Yes.
printed.
Especially
I-
after what
Do you?
happened a couple of
I have
weeks ago for CrowdStrike and all of the issues. I'm definitely making sure that I always print Esters, and it's the only time of the year that I will always print stuff out. Everything else is like I'm happy to have on my phone.
Yeah.
But no, I everything else for a holiday, especially to Florida, I have even like the parking at the airport, the night before hotel, all of that sort of stuff. I'll print all off in a folder,
Yeah.
and everything's in there.
You have a plastic wallet in your backpack.
Yeah,
I have,
Yeah.
I have a system like that, Ben, as well, and it's all it is all in.
In chronological order of when you need it.
Yep.
yes.
Sequential.
So
as
you
to when
have it
it's-
from like your airport and
Yeah.
your airport
Parking.
parking,
Yeah.
hotel,
Hotel.
yeah, boarding passes, all that sort. Yeah,
In the
Printed
order
it.
that you need them. Yeah.
And also in the back, I also put the printed out emergency telephone numbers for the
Travel
insurance
insurance.
company. That all
Gosh.
goes in there. And I've also got a photocopy of passports just in case.
I have them in my Google
Yeah.
Drive.
I
But we-
literally print nothing. I print nothing. I just wing and pray the whole lot. And yeah, am I trusting the passports? Absolutely not.
Isn't there an issue where you forgot a passport?
Yes, I left my passport work trip last March. I left my passport in the hotel safe
That's
on
right.
Melbourne beachfront,
Ouch.
and realised when I was already back, I'd taken all my work colleagues. We went for lunch at Disney Springs just before we were about to get the
No.
flight, and I realised when we got in the car, and one of my colleagues turned around and said, "It's funny how when you go into the airport, you always think like you're forgetting something." I thought, yeah. And I was like, I've left my passport in the hotel, that's safe. And yeah, so that was
okay?
like, I had to wait. Everybody else checked in, went through. Luckily,
Yeah.
one of my other work colleagues was staying in Florida for another week, and he was there with his girlfriend, and he happened to be in Melbourne, and it was like, he just lined up that he went to the hotel, managed to get them to get in the safe,
Wow.
get my passport, and then drive it to Orlando
Oh,
Airport
amazing.
and hand it over to me. But
That's
it was,
lucky.
I was about an hour away from the flight departing by that point.
That's a bit close for comfort.
Yeah.
A bit close for
Yeah.
comfort.
Yeah. So yeah, lesson for everybody: if you're going to put stuff in the safe, don't ever forget that you put it in the safe.
I always worry about forgetting stuff in the safe.
Yeah. Which is
You
why
do
I
that
have a-
check where you put your hand in and then you check it again and again.
yeah.
yeah. Which is why I have a folder, because I'm less likely to forget a folder with my.
If there's
whole-
something
It's like
missing in that
my
gap
car
in the folder,
keys. It's
I'd
things like
put
my
everything
car-
in there though. I'd put everything in the safe that was work related: passport, work ID, badge, laptop, all went in
Yeah.
there.
Oh,
And then on the last day before, I had
Yeah.
my work laptop and all the other stuff out, and I'd locked the safe.
yeah.
And I was like, "Oh well, I've got everything out," and it was only when I
Yeah.
packed everything.
Worst
I was
nightmare.
Yeah.
Oh dear.
Never-
That's a
I'll
handy
never,
idea.
I'll never forget that now. But there you go.
But reminder on your phone calendar to get the stuff out of the safe.
I think I've become a bit more relaxed about it because I used to print everything
Yeah.
and do exactly what you do, which is have it in, order that I'm going to use them with the reference numbers for the car hire and the villa
Yeah.
address and access details and all of that stuff. And I would normally do all that, but now I've become a bit more reliant on it all being digital. So I tend not to print as much. I have the ESTA numbers and I write them out, and I have that in the wallet with our passports. But I don't actually make a printed copy of them anymore.
No.
And then
I think because your ESTA last 2 years, I think ours is from like last year, so I'm not.
And because I'm using the
reprinting it
NPC app. Yeah, I'm using the NPC app. So I was like, I don't really need the ESTA.
Claire, first question of the evening. What is the NPC app?
Oh, thank you for
asking.
Yeah.
Because I've actually used it to put already to input all my information on, because actually it's really good. But some people watching or listening won't have a clue what we mean by about NPC app.
So NPC stands for Mobile Passport Control, and it is a newish innovation in American immigration. Probably been around about 6 months, maybe it's been around, beginning of this year. We used it first in April when we went to New York at JFK, and basically it is a free, yes, I said free, app that allows you to bypass the immigration massive line. So you need to download the app. It's really straightforward, so it guides you through it step by step, exactly what you need to do. So you set up an account which you put your passport details into. You take a photo of each person in your party, so you start with yourself and then you can add other people in your family or your party. I think it's up to like 10 people in one go. You take a photo of them. It's just a snapshot with your phone camera. It doesn't have to be a passport style photo. You can still have your glasses on, all of those things. And you set up a profile for each person. You then, when you're traveling, so I know we're traveling in a couple of weeks' time, I will go in and I will create a travel plan in there. So you choose when you're traveling, the date that you're traveling, how you're getting in, so whether you're traveling, which airport you're arriving into, and which terminal of that airport. So I will go in and say, we're flying in British Airways, we're flying into Orlando International Terminal C, the date that we're flying in, and then that pairs up in the background with all the systems. So then you say save that, and then when you arrive in Orlando or whichever American airport you're arriving in, you go back into that app and it says take a photo of each person who's traveled. So you select the people that have traveling before you go. When you get there, you go back in and it will ask them to take a photo of me, of Millie and Dan, who are the 3 people traveling this time. And again, it's just like, you can take a selfie of yourself and then a quick snap on your camera of everyone looking tired and bedraggled after a 9-hour flight. And that pairs up in the background of the app with the arrival data at the airport. And then when you've if you're going into Terminal C at MCO, so you collect your bags first, or if you're going into Terminal A or B, if you're going the more traditional route, you join the immigration line, but you join the line that says NPC. And generally that is paired up with the global entry route. So it will be a different queue to the normal, massively long immigration line. And the global entry line tends to be much, much quicker. I think my experience has been they will prioritize global entry visitors first. So if there's a queue of maybe 10 people, they will go up the queue asking if anyone's global entry. At JFK, it was the same queue line as the US nationals re-entering the country, and they prioritized them in front of us. So we had to wait until all of the Americans had gone in. But then you go, and literally when I was there in April, the man took my passport from me, looked at the screen, which has your picture on it, which is the picture you've just taken when you've arrived, didn't even open my passport and gave it back to me and said, have a nice time. And then when I went with Morgan in June, he did it with me, even though he was traveling on a visa. He joined that queue with me and it did it fine for him. He took, Morgan had to do fingerprints and various things because of the visa. But so Robin says, it sounds like you could have saved yourself 150 quid on global entry. Yeah. Exactly that. So I was at the point of going, I'll do global entry because it's quicker. The NPC app is free and it's so simple to use. You just need to spend 10 minutes setting it up before you go, and then take the quick photos when you arrive and join the quick queue And it saved, certainly at JFK, it probably saved us 45 minutes. And the 2 times I've gone into MCO, it's probably saved easily 45 minutes each time.
And to solve any confusion, I've seen a lot of it posted that Terminal B doesn't show on there. It's actually listed as Terminal A because it's the same terminal.
Yeah, so Orlando, it's A or C is the option.
Yeah.
So C is obviously the British Airways, and Terminal A is for pretty much everyone else.
I might not bother even trying to fight why my global entry got revoked after 12 months.
It's just I was ready to book my global entry appointment, because you can do it when you arrive at Orlando.
Yeah.
And I'd looked at it and I got to the point of getting to paying money.
Yeah.
And then I got distracted and done something else. And then we went to New York, and my cousin said to me, "Oh, try this new app. It's because it's only just come out," and her friend had tried it a couple of weeks before. So quickly downloaded it the day before we went. And yeah, it saved us a huge amount of time. And certainly in my experience at Orlando, which is generally quite busy, on arrival, massively saving time. It doesn't save you any time when you're going through security when you're departing, which is a bit of an issue at Orlando International, but it's certainly on arrival when you're in you're in a rush to get there, then it's all good. So I would say that it's definitely worth taking the time to create your profile and use the app. And interestingly, it does have signs everywhere saying use the NPC app, and people still haven't done it. It also next to that has a QR code, so you can scan it and download it, and then next to it says, "This is a federal area, no cell phone use." It's like,
that's a bit of a I like that.
But yeah, it's I would totally recommend it if people
I
haven't
think we've
done
all
it.
had those experiences of being in a queue for like 2.5 hours, which move so slowly. It's just anything that speeds up the process. Even if everyone is using the app, it's going to still be a quicker process than everyone joining the other queue.
Or even worse, you get held on the plane because the immigration hall is full.
Right.
Yeah.
So Carrie asked a question. She said, Mark's mum's travelling with his sister and her partner. Could the sister set it up for all 3 of them, or does it need to be immediate family? No, it just needs to be your travelling party. So she could set it up and put her partner and Mark's mum on her travelling party and do it for all 3 of them. It's fine. And it actually, when you've done all your photos on arrival and you say, "Yes, I've arrived," it basically gives you a QR code. So if anyone wants the evidence as to whether you've got an NPC, it gives you a QR code. No one looks at it, but it does actually show that you've got to that point. So yeah, it doesn't need to be direct family. It just needs to be people that you're traveling with. Yes, that has been the issue in terms of Carrie's asked, since you get through fast, you end up standing waiting around for baggage.
Yeah, maybe. But
I've seen that reported certainly at Terminal B, but of course at Terminal C you get your bags first. And that's where it's helped me, because I've arrived and then there's been maybe a couple of other international flights have arrived as well. And suddenly, my bags for some reason seem to always take forever on my own. And they're literally like, I've waited 40 minutes and the bags come out. And then by that point, the immigration line is like 5-6 switchbacks long. But I've got my bag, so I can then just go through the NPC line and everyone wave to everyone else who's stood there waiting.
It's just like Lightning Lane, isn't it?
It is.
Yeah.
But we can do it from here.
But
you don't need a VPN.
Then we just land in the country, take a photo, and off we go.
Yeah, exactly. So it seems to be a really positive thing. I think that it's very few things that are free, and it seems to be quite efficient. So,
yeah, the thing that strikes me, Claire, I think as well, I think for a lot of people, certainly coming from the UK, that whole entry into the immigration hall can be quite an overawing experience if it's your first time, or even the first couple of times. So to actually kind of expedite that whole experience is such a brilliant way of actually doing something, like you say, for free. I would quite gladly sit and wait for the carousel to bring me cases round in that area than to be in that sort of switchback queue and
worrying.
it just gets that whole bit of
Yeah.
entry into the US out there, done, ticked off, and then you kind of breathe in and you're thinking, yep, that works.
And I think if you haven't been for a while or you've got a new passport, you still need to do the fingerprints and the camera and the video, the picture and everything. But if you've been within the last few months and or you've got, recently, and you've got all of that stuff's been done quite recently, you don't even need to do that stuff. As I was saying, that actually they literally took my passport, looked at the picture, and then gave it back to me. It could.
We had a similar experience last year. It was like, I think we went last June, and then we went in October. In October, we literally just took our passports, looked at us, and there you go.
Yeah, that's what I get at the moment. But I guess if you've got a new passport or you haven't been for a while, then you, like John, I fully expect you all to have to do, look at the camera, fingerprints, thumb, and all of that stuff.
I'm more surprised Claire doesn't turn around to immigration desk and go, "Oh, it's you again.
Hello, welcome back."
Yeah, you're probably on first name terms.
The one time they said, "Have you got any food or anything to declare?" And I was like, "Yes, I have some cheese." But other than that, it's all good. No, you can take cheese, people. Just so you know.
I didn't know
it's
that.
Okay. Yeah, as long as it's pasteurized, you can take cheese.
Never really thought about taking cheese into.
It was for Zach. It was a gift for Zach. I'd been to the local deli and picked up like 6 or 7 different kinds of local British cheeses for him. I said, "What do you want me to bring?" And he was like, "Bring me some cheese." I was like,
"Is this a joke?"
No, so I had to a bit like Simon and his passport. I put it in the fridge in the hotel the night before. And I was like, I mustn't forget the cheese. I was like, I've actually got an alarm still on my phone that just says cheese in capital letters to remind me to take it out of the fridge to put it in my suitcase.
I think we all need that sort of alarm in there anyway.
Cheese.
The cheese alarm. The cheese alarm.
Does it not sort of get the sniffer dogs a little bit agitated?
Well, yeah, that was my worry, because even though I declared it, and I was like, there's spaniels and Labradors walking over the cases. I know what Mabel's like. If there's as soon as the fridge door opens, she's there. You're going to pay the cheese tax as soon as you open the fridge. I was like, these labs are going to. They're not interested in cheese, apparently.
No. No. It was strange. I was at a gig last Friday, and it's one of the first ones I've been to where, as you walk in, there's loads of sniffer dogs. And I'm thinking, okay, we kind of get to know what's the clientele here this evening. It
is quite interesting, because I see it more and more now, is that the dog's just walking along the carousel where the cases are, and they literally just let them walk across all the cases. I think I see that more frequently than not now.
Is that because the dogs don't have a decent health and safety rep?
Their union is not fighting, but I definitely see evidence of far more dogs around than not.
Okay. I've got a question for all of you. How many suitcases do you normally take?
All of them. Gosh, that's a difficult one, actually. So for 4 of us, we would normally take 3, maybe 4 cases, and big ones. Actually, we tend to take either 2 big, 2 medium, or 3 big, 1 medium.
Okay.
So for the 3 of us, when we go in a couple of weeks, so bearing in mind Morgan already has 2 massive cases there with him, one which expands because he's bought an awful lot of stuff and he's got to get it home somehow.
Yep.
We will probably take 3 cases, and I might put a fold-up hold all inside one of those cases. They won't be full, but there will be space in them to do what we want. But yeah, at least 1 each. Sometimes 1 each, and then a spare for all the stuff that we're going to buy.
Yeah. We always take the couple of holdalls just in case there's more stuff that won't fit in the suitcase from the way back. It's like, okay, that's fine. It's hand luggage. It's fine. It's all good.
It depends also what people have asked me to take over. So, like, a case full of cheese or tea bags, or if I've spoken to a few people and said, "Oh, can you bring me this? Can you bring me some biscuits?" Whatever it is.
Yeah, it's usually biscuits,
tea bags, cheese, piccalilli. Blooming Fordham and Mason's Piccadilly is a top thing. So it's a unique thing, but it
can't be any old stuff. It has to be.
No, I made the mistake of going in high. I took. It was actually Jason. I took him a gift of a couple of things. I took him like some Branston pickle and a couple of other things, and I took him some piccalilli, and it was it just so happened that I'd been at Fortnum's, and I was like, oh, I'll buy some piccalilli because it's nice. And now, of course, the only stuff he wants is that stuff. I should have gone with the cheapo stuff from Aldi, and then
maybe that's what I should take him some of that out, like to just redefine his taste and things like that.
But I have to, because I can't bear it. I have to package it really carefully just in case it. So I tend to put it into like plastic Ziploc bags. Absolute packing tip: Ziploc bags. Put things in Ziploc bags in your bags. And then you can use them on the way home for things that might be damp or like
Bath and Body Works bottles.
That's it. So that's exactly it. I take IKEA Ziploc bags, and all the shampoo and conditioners, and also shower gels, soaps, and things like that from Bath and Body Works that I bought. They all go into Ziploc bags in my bag so that they don't. If something hits them and one of them pops open, it doesn't. I mean, all it's going to do is make everything smell nice, but I've got to wash it all. So
But we did have one where we bought a tub of marshmallow fluff back, and that burst, and we ended up with that liquid marshmallow inside of the suitcase. And we bought it back for somebody else, and we were like, "Oh, okay, well, we'll bring this crap back then." And lo and behold, that was the one thing that split out of everything we ever had. First in thing, that was the one.
Gosh, I always remember as a child, we came back from holiday. We've been in Portugal, and we've flown back from Portugal, and I remember my parents packing the cases, and when we got, and it was like soft-sided suitcases. It was 80s. It was cheap. And by the time we got home, they brought a bottle of red wine, and it had smashed in the bag. And all of the clothes in the suitcase were soaked in red wine, and there was bits of glass everywhere. So that for me is like, it's in my mind that everything. I just use Ziploc bags for everything for the way home.
Yeah,
I don't know whether it was the Orlando trip this year or whether it was the Germany trip we did, but I think it must have been Florida, because I think we were complaining about damage to one of our suitcases, and another couple wheeled their bags over, and I thought, God, it smells a bit wheaty smell here. What is that smell? I thought, it smells like beer. And the couple next to us had obviously put bottles of beer in their suitcase that had smashed on the way back. And there was beer just dripping out of the bottom of the suitcase all over the floor. And I thought, oh, God, that's the worst sort of thing of broken glass bottles of beer in your suitcase. And obviously, what was the one thing they said? Oh, well, sorry, that's in your suitcase. That's not our problem. That's not our responsibility that you didn't pack them well enough. So they just wheeled the trolley of suitcases back out again, with it trailing this big long drizzle of beer behind the trolley as they walked out.
Oh no,
Simon, just ask, because you go across on business as well. So that whole notion of how light you travel, probably on a business trip, is you probably travel quite light, I would imagine.
Fairly. So I've always taken other stuff though when I go over there. So I've always got stuff, because I try and fit Disney visits in. So I want non-work wear as well. So I've always ended up taking one case, and then I usually have one hand baggage, and I'll have my laptop bag. Then I'll cram as much stuff in as well. Although I did have to load a load of stuff into my hand luggage and check that into the hold luggage on my trip last March, because I had bottles of Prime and stuff that I bought back from the US. So that was I couldn't get it all in the main case, unfortunately. So I just had my laptop bag on the flight with me. But
we've done hand luggage only once.
No, how? No.
Yes,
and don't do it.
It was an 8-night trip. And this was with American Airlines back in 2019.
8 nights in hand luggage? No.
Yeah, hand luggage only. But the thing is, we had the limit exactly right. So we had 2 big rucksacks.
No.
And then we had 2. American Airlines had a bigger capacity sort of allowance compared to Virgin and British Airways. So we didn't have smaller cases back then. So we went out and bought specifically ones that would fit exactly that dimension. And we just rolled everything. Everything was packed perfectly.
You're not doing it.
And we even had room to bring stuff back.
Ben, I go on my own for 5 nights. I take 2 large suitcases with me.
Why?
Why? because
Yeah.
I don't want everything crushed, and B, I want to have options. I don't know where I'm going and what I'm going to be wearing.
Options, and then there's that.
Oh.
So I went with Morgan. I was there for 3 nights, and I took 6 pairs of shoes.
What?
Oh my word!
I got everything. I'm the one who's carrying them.
Okay.
I don't think I've got 6 pairs of shoes at all.
Shoes? No.
I don't think I actually own 6 pairs of
I
shoes.
don't know where I'm going to go. I don't, especially if I'm going on my own. I don't know if I'm going to end up going out for dinner. I don't know.
For
what I'm
8
gonna want to
nights, we
wear.
had everything planned, so we knew exactly. We didn't actually.
But how can you know what you're going to wear on the 3rd night in the evening?
Because
Because
I've
he's
got
wearing the
8
same
t-shirts.
thing
I've
you
got
wore.
enough to.
You're not doing this
Same-
right.
I've got
Same
like
thing
9
you wore.
Put
t-shirts.
enough
There we
effort
go.
into this, Ben.
No, organised.
No, I'm sorry, but
we
it's
said
just not an option.
280 quid each.
Yeah,
We were happy.
I'd have
with
paid
it.
the extra for the bag
No.
easily.
yeah. I would
Happily.
always.
I always want the bag because I want to bring bottles of rum back with me. So if I'm
Yeah.
going
Right?
to
Let's
do
be
it,
worried about
it
shoes. Simon's got
Yeah.
6 bottles of rum.
Yeah, good on you.
maxing out my
Saying that we are
import
gonna-
miles.
Yes.
We are
Because-
going to bring an extra sort of case on the way back because we're
Yeah.
doing a cruise this year. So it's like we're gonna need some more room for on
Yeah.
the way back than our 2 cases we're taking out there.
So I'm going to take us back to the original question, because actually we have always taken a case each. However, please, again, planning tip, spread the load of each person's luggage around the 4 cases, because I actually found
Yes.
from personal experience when my bag went on a little excursion
Oh no.
one year, and we were there for 3 weeks, and I got the bag back on day 13. And the photos from that whole day, I still feel as if I'm wearing someone else's clothes. And actually, that was with American, and it wasn't their fault. It was actually the case was in Heathrow. Then it went for a little holiday somewhere, I think Athens or something like that. And then by the time I actually managed to, I was on the phone every single day because it had so much
How
stuff
to
in it.
ruin your.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
it was
Do
one.
you know,
of
I
them
wish
ones
you
that
had an air tag because you could monitor where it went.
They hadn't been invented in them days.
I
Do you know
Yeah.
what? That's a really
That's a-
interesting point. Ben.
But-
Do you use
Yeah.
air tags in your bags?
We haven't, but I've got them ready for this trip.
John, do you,
we
you-
have.
You have.
We've got air tags, 1 each.
So we have air tags in our bags.
Right, there you go. So that's on the that's on my list. I've now got a list
Yeah.
that's got NPC and air tags. And I've already bought the air tags to go on that, so that's a good one. The other thing
I
to
think
remember,
Robin's mentioned about our packing cube things as well.
Yes,
right?
I love packing cubes.
Yeah, definitely, because it really helps if you're moving from different place to different place.
Yeah,
Oh,
You
packing
actually-
cubes are.
when you're doing a split stay, 'cause
Lifesavers.
I think last June we did 3 hotels, so it was near enough a 3-week trip. But it was nice that we could just have this is for this. We can just unpack what's in there for Riviera, then Grand Floridian, and Animal Kingdom Lodge. It was like it was set. It was.
We went one step further and Robin bought dress hangers as well. So that not only have we got packing cubes that are individual with stuff in, we've got dress hangers that we hang all of our. I've got one with all my shirts and shorts on
good
hangers.
idea.
And then at the other end, you're just taking that whole thing out and
And
hanging
just
it up.
hang it straight up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
So
we've
we-
got that for all of our long clothes, and those just get folded straight into the case. And then we've got our individual packing cubes, which are like underwear, t-shirts, and kind of.
And do you have a different colour for you and a different colour for
No.
Robin?
No, they're all one consistent colour.
Oh no,
No.
no.
All got to match.
See, we've got
No.
we've got 3 different colours, but that was just
3.
because
There's only 2 of you.
I know, but this was
How
not.
does that work?
We ordered some, and then they turned up broken. So we ordered some more, but then some of those ones were fine. So we sent them back, and we just end up with a mismatch of colours because they didn't do the colours that we originally ordered.
I've got to
Again,
throw
3
all of
different
those
types.
away. I'd have to
Yeah.
throw all of the
I
mismatched
couldn't
colours
do.
away. and
I
get
couldn't do
some-
without. So I literally have had a delivery of new packing cubes today, because some of them have split and broken. And you know, let's face it, packing cubes don't last forever unless you spend a lot of money on them. And I don't want to do that. So I've just taken delivery of 2 new sets today. And and they're big sets. I think they're sets of 15 or 16.
Oh wow.
And we will have a separate. So Morgan's got some in America with him already. And then we will have a different color per person. So that means when we split the clothing and all the things between the cases, I can open it and I can go, right, Millie, you take out the flamingo ones, they're yours. So then she can take them and put them in her drawers. I know that Dan's are the blue ones and mine are the coral, whatever they are. It means that even though things are split between all the cases and different people's stuff is in all the cases, it makes it super quick to just whip them out, pop them in the drawer.
I'm going to buy some new ones.
I can literally unpack a suitcase in less than 5 minutes using packing cubes.
Yeah.
Because you just slot them in the drawer, and I didn't know they were a thing until my cousin told me about them when she'd been traveling, and she said, try this. And I was like, oh yeah. But then when you put them in the case and everything fits neatly and your shoes slot in between them, all 6 pairs, you can then lay your long clothes over the top of them and everything just sits neatly. And, you know, I like a tidy case.
Sounds very organised.
What we also did in October on the way back, so we had some spare packing cubes. What we did was we put our food and some of the snacks we bought from Walmart in the packing cubes. So, and what it meant is that when we put it all in with clothes and everything, it wasn't getting crushed. So we had like Chips Ahoy cookies and lots of sort of things that before would just rattle around, or we'd have Pringles that in previous trips would have got dented in the suitcase, because it's all tightly packed in packing cubes and they were in their own packing cubes. If something was going to split, it was just contained within that.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm a big fan of stuffing things inside other things.
Yeah.
That's not.
I'm sure you are.
That's not meant to sound how it came out. Oh. By that I mean I might quite happily fill shoes
with like sweets and
shampoo or like a bottle of shower gel, so that it keeps your shoe shape, but also it means it doesn't rattle around in the case. After the Halloween party, every single trainer in our suitcase will be filled with candy. And every possible corner of every suitcase will be filled with candy. But I think that, you know, if you've got, there's no point in putting a pair, because like trainers hold their shape usually. And then if they're empty, or you can put socks inside them or something, it just saves on space. But actually a bottle of shower gel or something fits in there really neatly. It holds the trainer shape, and you know it's not going to burst open. So
and just put in a Ziploc bag and put it in, and then
can also pick up on the shower gel thing as well, because I think for if you're going for the first time, or you're maybe not aware of American supermarkets as well, if you've got a favorite brand from the UK of shower gel, and this only comes from experience, because it's one of those things that really annoys you when you think, oh, I'm packing light, I won't take shower gel, I get some when I'm there. But you actually arrive there and you go to the supermarket, it's actually very expensive.
It is really expensive.
And $18 for a bottle.
And noticeably, so if you plan ahead, take your shower gel, it then means that you're losing at least a kilogram of weight for coming back, because you just leave what's there and sort that out. Can also say as well, Carrie mentioned in the chat about being prepared to take on board some of Morgan Josh's things that they no longer require at the end of their college program as well. Carrie, I can't thank you I can't thank you enough. The love that these two guys have had from everyone across.
I know, it's amazing, Carrie. Thank you so much.
It's absolutely beautiful. And I think I'll speak for Claire. As a parent, it's appreciated so much, because at the for now we're so many miles away, but we know that there's people and nice guys like Brown. We know we're coming to get you, mate. I tell you. But Carrie, same as yourself. Every bit of support that you've given the kids when they've been out there, it is above and beyond, and it is really, really appreciated so much. And the fact that the stuff that they're not going to bring home can be donated and reused and actually will be of use to other people, I think is just the most amazing thought as well. And I think that for me is such a brilliant thing.
I think that's something that Morgan and Josh were really clear about, that they didn't want to just throw the stuff away. So they're going to take all the Carrie. Thank you so much. She's going to take all the bedding and give it to a shelter or donation for charity.
Okay, brilliant.
So,
Brilliant. Yeah. Can I ask another question though? Right, because we're not doing well for time here, because actually I've only really got to the bit where I've got through immigration. I've got to the baggage arrival hall in my own head. I know that all my luggage is perfectly pristinely packed in a cube and stuff like that. Does anyone make their cases a little bit more identifiable for when they're on the baggage carousel? Because this is one thing that really gets me, because the amount of we had red cases at one point, and the amount of red cases that come through that look very much like yours, it's that moment where you're thinking, hands off, I know that's my case.
We've got a set of burgundy suitcases, which no one we very rarely see, but we'll always put a luggage strap on it as well. So I will share in the Waffler's Arms a picture of the cases we utilise. They've got names, haven't they, Claire?
They have. Our cases have all got names. And the Apple AirTags are attached to their names. So we've got American Tourister cases, and they are all not quite all of them now, because one of them got broken by BA last year. But we have really bright ones. So we've got one which has got Marvel all over it. We've got one which is Steve. So that's Marv. We've got Steve, which is a Captain America case. We have Gary, with your name Gary, which is covered in Marvel stuff all over it. We've got another one which Morgan's got, which has got Avengers all over it. We have a red one which is Wanda. And I've just bought, there's a turquoise one that Morgan's got, hasn't got a name yet, and we've just bought a new one which is bright red, so I'm not quite sure what
I've got this vision of your house.
This is possible.
Right, so your house, right, I've got this vision, right, because coming from each individual name suitcase, I've got this Thomas the Tank Engine thing. We're like having an engine shed with all the suitcases. All lined up in a row, all different colours and things like that.
Inside each other.
Nice little touch.
They cuddle each other and sit inside each other. But yes, we do. They are named because the AirTags are attached to each of the cases.
I like that.
I go for the brightest possible options because I know that I can see them coming on the carousel a mile away.
Yeah.
The number of people that have got black suitcases.
Yeah.
And I just see them taking them off, and they're all the same. They're taking them off, going, "Is that mine?" They haven't put a tag on them either, so they're trying to read the thing on the bit of paper that's stuck to them. Tag your cases. You can buy luggage tags really cheaply, decent ones, metal ones that it's a no-brainer, because the last thing you want to do is get to your hotel and realise you've got Doris from Birkenhead.
Do you want to know my hack?
Go on.
Cheap as anything, right? So
do you
buy
a ribbon?
No, even cheaper than that. So you buy the most bizarre colour of duct tape. This is where my duct tape comes from.
That's me.
And actually, we've got a strip of duct tape on the front and on the back of the suitcase, right? Occasionally, we put a family name on it.
Yeah.
Some of them don't, because the colour doesn't allow you to write on it and things like that. But fine well, that's your case, and nobody's going to be bothered with with a suitcase that's got duct tape all over the front of it, because actually when the duct tape comes off, it'll leave that sticky strip on it as well. So that's how we've done it previously, but I'm definitely got the AirTags for this one.
Yeah.
And I'm going to go to my correspondent who does the most international traveling known to mankind. Simon, what's your trick on this one?
What does Robin do to the cases?
We've got a load of luggage tags on ours that are big, like noticeable. We've also got crazy colours. We've got like bright pink suitcases.
Yeah.
Have you got a flamingo case?
No.
Robin, have you not got a flamingo case? Please.
It's the future. It's the future. Yeah.
I think my thing would be get one of those pullover sleeves that you can buy them pretty cheaply now.
Your face.
You can get all sorts of stuff. Yeah, get your face printed on it, because who's gonna pick that up with your own picture of your own face on?
It's those ones, when people who've got that sticker on the side. get your effing hands off my suitcase.
Have
It's
you wa-
mine. And
I
it's like,
just had a
like,
flashback to. Have you watched Emily in Paris? In the second, if anyone's watched Emily in Paris in the second series, where Pierre Cadeau has his face put on, who's one of the designers, has his face put on a suitcase and he hates it. That made me think. I just had this vision of Robin and Simon having these cases where, right, Robin's got like a flamingo on one side and maybe like mochi on the other side or something. It would be brilliant. And it's like, yeah, I think just have fun with your case. It's what you're looking for, right?
I love that, Gary.
I think yeah. If you had, I think everyone should have a case with their face on it, or their pet on it, or something like that.
Yeah.
All I've come to the realization is don't spend a fortune on your suitcases.
That's
because
not worth it.
it really isn't worth it anymore.
Yeah.
The amount of problems we've had with, I think, 3 successive flights with Virgin where we had a suitcase that was damaged. Usually on the return back to the UK, it came back damaged.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like don't bust a gaskets buying the most expensive suitcases. Buy something that's reasonable in price, and just accept that if it gets damaged, you just get a replacement for it. It's kind of throwaway culture, but
I think the other one as well there, Simon, if anyone has gone through that, if you notice it in the baggage hall, there is a desk on arrival where you can go and you can actually make them aware that your baggage has been damaged.
Yeah.
Go and lodge a complaint there, and then if you don't, it is not possible to actually claim it back once you leave the arrival hall.
So
you're basically walking out and assuming.
I will caveat that a bit because one of the Virgin flights we did, the queue at that was so big because it's often a general desk. It's often a general desk that they might cover 4 to 5 different airlines.
Yeah,
and we were just like, I'm not standing there waiting for that.
Yeah.
Virgin gave you the option to log a complaint about your baggage. And what you do find is that they know whether you've logged a complaint at the airport as well.
Brilliant.
So it is tied up, but there is that option if you really don't. But I would always recommend, as you say, John, to make sure you log it at the desk before you leave.
Yeah,
because it does become a little bit more difficult to prove that it was. They could come back and say, "Look, it was." We don't think it was, but
I've done it before and I've got home and realised by the time I didn't actually look at the case when I took it off the carousel. And I got home and I was like, oh.
The thing is, after like 8-hour flight back home, you're just like, I just want to get home.
Yeah,
you don't think about too much.
But I think the other things you're worrying about all the other stuff, and we've got home and I've noticed the bag's broken, and then you have to go through the process of taking photos and sending them to. But we have had it refunded and we've had it replaced, and it's been fine. And I'm a fan of an expandable case. Yeah. Things that grow is important because you need more space.
So we've got one of the Disney ones. We've got one of the Mickey ones you can buy in, like we bought it at Wilderness Lodge. But the zip comes out, and so just
you have a double zip.
Expands. Yeah.
So we have the cases that've got the expanding bit on them so that you can open them up a bit.
Yeah.
But what we often take is I know some people do that trick of bag inside another bag, case in case, and you come back and you've got effectively a second case. We tend to take one of the folding up holdalls. Yeah, fold up just to a square size that's wheel along. Yeah. And then that is often like dirty laundry stuff goes in that bag, and then that goes on in the luggage separately. So that's always been something we've done for the extra case. We don't normally take more than one case each. We're usually like one medium, one large, and then we'll take one, maybe 2 of those fold up hold all things. But and then fill it with a load of stuff on the way in.
I'm very aware, and this tells you how much of an overpacker I am, because I want to have everything that I might want for every eventuality.
I've just got visions, Claire, you having 6 cases that you're just lugging for yourself.
So this is the issue. So this is exactly the problem that we have. So obviously Morgan's already there. He's got 2 big cases and a backpack, and God knows what else he's accrued while he's been there. We're going out, and there's 3 of us, so we'll have 3 cases probably, I would have thought. Maybe 4, depending on whether we take an extra spare or whatever that looks like. I drive a big car, and we can fit probably 5 cases in my car very comfortably. But then you've got hand luggage and various other things. And then Morgan's coming back with us. And I'm just like, how are we going to get like 6 cases and all the hand luggage in the car from Gatwick to home? So we've had to book a taxi, a separate taxi for Dan and some suitcases when we come home, because they won't all, because there'll be 4 people in the car and all the bags. So we won't all fit in with all of the bags and all of the people. So we've had to book an extra journey for Dan to get a taxi from the airport back home.
I love that.
Yeah.
When we get back from...
I've already got that covered for this summer, Claire. We're getting the train back.
Oh, see, that's easy.
Train there, train back. And also, we only sent Josh with 1 suitcase.
Yeah, I know.
And
he'll be coming home with 2, I think.
He will, yeah. We know that. We're going out with the additional suitcase.
Oh, okay, fine.
I think that really has been one
cast member discount.
Yeah, but a way of trying to stop him from overspending, and also from overpacking at the very beginning. And so a lot of the photos I've seen on his socials, he's wearing T-shirts that he's obviously bought while he's been out there.
Right? Morgan's the same. He's like, I bought
this.
this and I bought this. I was like,
Yeah.
where? What? How much stuff have we bought? How are we going to get this home? Where are you going to put it when you get home? We'll deal with that in a couple of weeks' time.
I know. Certainly will.
Other things that are essential to pack. So the first time I went, I wasn't sure. People take hairdryers and stuff. Every hotel, I mean, Ben, it must be an essential for you.
Of course.
Sorry.
That's okay.
I'm surprised.
I need to remember that I've got control of the button, so
I know, that's what I was thinking. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. She was already on the naughty step anyway.
I know.
I'm very comfortable down here. You know that. But all the Disney hotels of all grades have a hairdryer. They're not all the same. Some are better than others. The more you pay for your hotel, the nicer the hairdryer. But you do get a hairdryer. And remember that the UK things like hairdryers and stuff like that, unless it's dual voltage, it isn't going to work.
Yeah.
So don't take it. There's no point.
If you
don't waste your time and the space in your bag. So actually, all the hotels that I've stayed at have had a hairdryer in, and most of the villas have as well. At least one, if not one, in every bedroom or bathroom. Because
am I one of these nutcase people that just use whatever shower gel is in the hotel?
Oh no!
I never take any other shower gel or shower.
I use the H2O.
Robin's got her good stuff.
Yeah.
Wherever I am, I'm just like, I'm not taking shower gel. I'll just use whatever rubbish is in the hotel. If we're at Disney, it's fine because I'm more than happy with the H2O stuff there. But
no.
Every other hotel, I'll just use whatever's there.
Oh, I love the smell of H2O.
I'm like Robin. I like the smell of it, but I don't want to use it on my body because it's really drying. It's not great for your skin. I'm like Robin. I have my nice stuff that I take with me. But I certainly things like hair straighteners, if you're going to take them, most decent ones are dual voltage, so they will work, but some of the stuff won't. So just check your kit before you put it in your bag, because actually sometimes like a hairdryer takes up quite a lot of space, and if you can't use it, it's pointless.
And it's things like sort of travel adapters for power.
Things
that you don't always think about. But
what do you need, John?
You want your strip plug. That's it.
You what?
See,
are we talking about hooters?
Yeah.
we've never taken an extension lead, but that's purely because, especially when we're just staying on site Disney, everywhere's got USB, and a lot of the updated resorts have got USB-C. Yeah. So it's like there's not very much now that we don't need that isn't run off USB.
Yeah, I think that's changed very much probably in the past 10 years. Yeah. Whereas certainly when we were first going out and we were taking loads of stuff that needed a charger overnight, and it was always a UK plug, and it was like round every plug point with different adapters and stuff like that. So you then took the strip plug, get them all in the same place. You knew fine well you wouldn't leave one behind the following day. And now, because everything is either USB and USB-C, etc., things have moved on a little bit into the better. However, we still take the strip plug wherever we go, just because it's useful.
Yeah. So we changed slightly. We went from using the multi-block extension lead to a multi-USB. So it's like a 5 or 6 way USB adapter that's just got a single plug, and then you can
I'm
plug
going
multiple things into.
I'm going to add that to my list as well,
Yeah.
Simon,
Yeah.
because you can actually buy them with the USB
USBs,
and so, yeah.
Now,
that would be really good.
I don't always think that some of the Disney resorts are 100% on the USB upgrades yet.
Yeah.
Particularly some of the DVC rooms, right? I often find that some of the double bed layouts in the DVC rooms, you don't always have a bedside table on both sides of the bed. Sometimes there's not even a plug socket on that side. So I find sometimes they can be a bit lacking in.
The best resort for USB was Coronado Springs. 14 USBs we found in our room, and second to that was Saratoga Springs, which was at 12. Which, to be perfectly honest, I don't think I've got 12 things that I need to charge overnight.
It's a challenge.
Yeah. I don't know.
But it quite easily racks up. Yeah, if you've got watches, you might have Magic Band Plus that they've got to be USB charged up. So if there's two of you and you've both got a watch, you've both got Magic Band Pluses, you've both got phones,
gimbal.
You can quickly
power
get
banks.
Yeah. I think the only room that I can think that was terrible on it for DVC wise, Animal Kingdom Lodge.
Animal
That's
Kingdom
horrific.
Lodge has got no bedside counter on one side of the bed.
Okay.
And I think there's only like 2 USBs or 4
Yeah.
USBs in that entire room. So it's one of those, we know it's going to be refurbed this year and next year. So
I think it's that all of that stuff's always got to go in your hand luggage, right? For me, anything that is like a phone lead, because I want phone leads in the car when you come out. I think Robin's mentioned in the chat Bay Lake Tower as well was quite bad for USB availability.
Yes, it is. Yes.
Yeah.
But phone leads for me are always in the hand luggage because they're easy access that you can plug your phone in. Well, you're probably going to charge it on the plane anyway, right? You've probably got it in the USB port on the plane, but you want it for your CarPlay and your sat nav when you're off the other end. I think the only other bit we've done in terms of packing, John, I don't know what you're doing with mobile phone coverage, is we've started using eSIMs when we're abroad now. So sometimes that can be just registering the eSIM can be a little bit challenging, like waiting for it to actually register on your phone. But we've found that is a really cheap way of having data coverage in the US. So
it's a lot more reliable because we use O2 in the UK, and a lot of times we've gone to Florida and it's like, the internet's really slow. But it's like, okay, I will just go to Airalo, download an eSIM, and it's like, there we go, $20 for like 20 gig of data. Like, I'm not going to complain with that, and it lasts for 30 days.
I think as well, do your homework on it and see what your provider from the UK actually provides. I know, Claire, you've sent Morg out with an eSIM. We've done Josh has gone with his EE contract for I think it's £25 a month, which is a little bit more expensive, but you've got absolutely everything as it is at home.
It depends who your provider is and what you're paying for. So I just use my normal contract because I've got unlimited everything, and Vodafone are quite happy for me to just use everything. So it's not a problem. But Morgan wasn't on the same sort of contract. So he's got Airalo eSIMs that he's used all the time he's been there, and it's been super efficient, really cost effective, and has made sure that he has data available to him when he's out and about. The Disney Wi-Fi is fine, but it's not, it's not brilliant.
No.
As we've demonstrated on live shows, if you need to know how bad it is, we'll link back to.
There is a Universal live show that we did. Must have been in June 2022, and we were trying to use my phone to join live. And during that show, we had to leave, but then we joined Airalo and eSIM within a few minutes later, and it was perfect. But it all depends on where you are, because the Wi-Fi is good in some places, but you're going to be in various different places, and especially if you're using like Uber or Lyft, that you won't need internet connection to be able to do it.
You just want that reliability, don't you? And I think that's that more than anything. I think, Simon, you're absolutely spot on, because actually get yourself something that you know you can trust, that you know how it works. And also the fact that I think Josh when he joined us on the Wednesday a few weeks ago from Epcot, and he went to see Morg at work, we thought he was on the Wi-Fi, and he wasn't. and so he was actually using his data plan from
Yeah.
his UK package. And yeah, okay, it burnt through a whole lot of data, but that became much more stable than actually Disney Wi-Fi. And you know, as you're trying to stream stuff or whatever you're trying to do, it does make a bit of a difference, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Is there anything else essential that you should take with you? We've covered all the stuff you need: paperwork, suitcases, carry-on, electronics,
payments, your money.
Ooh.
Oh, yeah.
That's true.
Yeah.
Are you?
It's quite obvious. Like when you're there now, cash is not 100% necessary. I think cash is only really needed when you start needing tips for people. If you're going to use valet or bellhop type services, you're always going to need tips for that. And generally anything where it's due an extra tip. But increasingly, like as long as you've got one of your payment cards that you use overseas on your phone, you can Apple Pay at most Disney places. Weirdly, the one thing I always find is you need a credit card still for places like Walmart. They often don't accept Apple Pay.
They have their own contactless that you have to sign up for.
Right, got you.
So you still need both types of that. But yeah, we've been taking less and less cash on our recent trips in the last few years because it's just not as big a requirement anymore.
No. I think in October we took $100 in cash, and I happen we come back with about $85.
Yeah.
$80. It was like,
So I've done that. I've taken cash and I've taken the same cash backwards and forwards with me multiple times. Actually, this time I didn't bring it back. I left it all with Morgan so that he had cash so he had emergency cash if he needed.
He'll soon have spent all that, Claire.
Well, I hope not. But just in case something happened, if he lost his card or he lost his phone or something, he had some money. So we've got some more cash to take with us, and we had a long conversation about how much we needed, and I was like, literally $150 will be sufficient because we will only use it for tipping and paying valet, stuff like that. But even then, you can still tap and go. You can still pay, your tip for your valet at the Polynesian. You can still pay on your Apple Pay. It's you don't really need cash, but it is useful to have
just in case.
I agree with Heather's comment on sunscreen as well. That's one thing.
It's so expensive.
We don't
realize how expensive it was out there. We only bought it once. We ran out. It was the end of one trip, and it was like, it was how much? I've never.
It's crazy expensive.
Yeah. Can I also just interject as well? Because actually, if you've got a sunscreen that you use in the UK and your skin is happy with it, then take that with you. The mixtures and the different brands that you get could cause a reaction, and I've had that with my wife, and it hasn't been pleasant because you're then sort of in that realm where it becomes quite uncomfortable that you're in the heat and you've got like prickly heat, but it's not caused by the heat, it's actually caused by the sun cream that you put on.
I completely agree with you, John. The heat kind of reacts differently. Your skin reacts differently when you've got products that it's not familiar with. And I've had a couple of incidents over there where my skin, I'm one of these people, I could bathe like in Swarfiga and it wouldn't be, it's not, I don't have,
well, that's a vision.
I don't particularly have that sensitive a skin, but I'm bad around like sensitive skin products. So like strangely, the sensitive skin products are worse for me than the regular any old garbage stuff. And some of the US sunscreens I've struggled with my skin reacting to them in the heat, and sensitive face wipes as well. I find in the heat, I used a sensitive baby wipe on my face and it went purple, and it felt like
your face went purple.
Face went purple.
Oh my word!
And it felt like it was burning, and it was a reaction to using the sensitive face wipe or sensitive baby wipe on my face. And I'm always hugely careful about what I will use when I'm in the US because I'm just not used to some of the products they have there. So if you've got a sunscreen that works for you, I'd say take it with you and only resort to buying the stuff over there as a last resort, because A, it's more expensive, and B, you don't necessarily know how it's going to react to you individually. My only other bit is sunglasses. Make sure you've got sunglasses for when you're in the car that are easy to grab. So when you're in the car on the way to the resort, you've got them down.
Remember to take them out of your car when you get to the airport.
Well, yes.
Oh,
I may have had to buy some at the airport.
Yeah.
In June.
oh no.
Yeah.
They were heavily discounted though, so it's okay. Thank you, Ralph Lauren.
And he's
They're very nice.
Okay.
I left my Ray-Bans in the car, by which point I didn't remember until we'd gone through security, and I was like,
Oh
no.
no.
I tell you what, Claire, you're doing really well here tonight, right? So we've gone from Fortnum and Mason, right? You've got your Ralph Lauren, you've got your different hair dryers in different places that are
Six
up at
pairs of
different.
shoes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I've got visions of people sat at home thinking, I know what kind of suitcase she's going on
You know
all
what?
day with. Yeah.
All the people that are listening to this are going, I'm
On
so
LV,
glad.
it's got Louis Vuitton written on
Not
it.
at all. For everyone listening to this, especially those listening back on Friday and beyond, are thinking, I'm so glad I don't travel with Claire. I'm just, I'm not, I don't think I, the thing is though, I don't consider myself to be particularly high maintenance because when I, John's laughing, because when I've got it all packed and everything, I'm actually like, I'm super straightforward. I'm not particularly, I don't do expensive bags, expensive handbags, stuff like that. I just do a lot of them. It's volume, right?
You just need to be organised.
I do have to be organised, and I like to know that I've got what I need, so I don't have to go shopping. I don't want to have to go and buy something that I could take with me.
Super glue, isn't that right, Claire?
Super glue is really important, and I've got it ready to pack. And it is my thing.
That's an airplane bit. Lloyd Bridges in an airplane, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, it looks like I picked the wrong week to
I
stop
picked the wrong
sticking glue. Yeah.
Yeah, super glue is really important in my suitcase. I always have it. I always have super glue. I always have a sewing kit as well.
Okay.
So
Why a
in the
sewing
suitcase, in case something needs stitching, you know, if you get a hole in your trousers or you get, you know, a seam like pops open in something, or, you know, actually it means you can't wear it. So if you've got a quick, you know, needle and cotton, you can quickly sew it up and then you can still wear it.
I was like, Claire, you've got like you're taking a million options. So you wouldn't need to.
Because I might, but then no, it might not be
You might
right.
want to wear that
I'll
one.
say a button
Yeah.
come, like if you bought something new and the buttons aren't particularly secure, and then you put something on and the button pops off somebody's trousers or something.
Yeah,
Actually,
you've been to Ohana for dinner, and
right.
Yeah.
Why didn't I wear my stretchy pants?
Yeah.
JC Penny is your friend for that. I
No,
think that's it. Straight down there.
Maternity wear section, just expanding waistline.
I was just more thinking straight down
so
for the 90% sale at JC Penny. You just buy yourself a new pair, come back and take them back to the shop you bought them from and ask for a refund.
needle and thread, quickly fix them, and they can still be worn. So I always take needle and thread. I always take super glue, not just to fix my heels, but also to fix anything else that breaks. Mickey ears, hats, you know, all sorts of stuff.
Yeah.
I'm not sure whether I've asked at Disney whether they. I always think that they used to offer like those kind of sewing kits in some of the Disney resorts.
I've never seen one in the Disney resort, so I've seen.
I don't think they leave them out, but I think
I'm sure if you ask, they might have one. Yeah,
but it's kind of an old school thing, right? Of a little needle and thread kit in a.
It's so. I mean,
shower caps and a shoe puffing.
Yeah.
But they,
all those
available.
things you get for free in a decent hotel, and you just fill your bag with it.
You do. I've got a whole load of them.
So bad.
And then what do you do with them when you're home? I never polish my shoes at home.
They sit in the bag. They sit in the bag waiting for the next time we go along.
I'm going to get my money's worth out of this hotel. I'm taking every single thing that's not screwed down.
So that's a top tip if you're staying in a Disney hotel. If you haven't used all the toiletries, they change them every 2 days. Make sure you remove them from the countertop every other day, and then they replace them. Same with the coffee and the tea bags and all of that.
I think we've still got loads of little H2O bottles.
I've got loads of H2O bottles. I've also like the coffee pods and stuff, like the K cups and stuff that you get if you're in Grandestino, or the coffee pods you get in Pop and All Stars. If you
the joys of non-DVC Disney stays.
If you don't take them away, they won't give you new ones.
Just
And
hide
like
them in your bag.
the washing powder and stuff that they give you, like the dishwasher detergent in the DVC rooms and the washing machine stuff. If you're happy to use their stuff, if as long as you remove it, they'll replace it.
But I don't know what I ever do with 17 bottles of the washing up liquid.
Look,
I
you
rarely
never
ever wash anything.
ever
in my
know.
mouth. Yeah.
You never know when you're going to have to hand wash something.
Yeah. I've thought of one other thing that I always take. That is noise cancelling headphones. They're the best thing that I've ever bought for flights. Since having those, I would always eye mask and headphones on to sleep. But
your eye mask. What's your eye mask like? Do you have one of the molded eye masks?
No, I'm not. I'm not that. I'm only bougie in the sense that they're all Virgin upper class eye masks, but I've never bought another one.
So I can't bear an eye mask that sits against my eyelashes. There's nothing more annoying than trying to sleep and you feel like my eyelashes are being pushed against the face.
I can't believe we're having this conversation.
No, but you can buy on, and I'll tell you, it was Jason Knapp who sent me one as a gift. He sent me it's a neoprene eye mask and it has little pockets that are molded in them so it doesn't squish against your eyeballs, and it's so comfortable.
I can't wear an eye mask. I can't wear an eye mask. It keeps me awake.
Honestly, you laugh, but people who have lashes know how it feels. And
I just never use an eye mask.
No, I shut my eyes and I go to sleep.
Yeah.
Yeah, but if you're on a red eye though, and you're arriving home, and it's like they'll bring the lights up 2 hours before you're due to land, and it's like everybody starts opening the blinds, and before you know it,
thanks. Leave me to sleep.
It's daylight in the plane. Yeah.
And that's where the free Virgin ones come in really handy, Simon.
Yes, I've always got free Virgin ones knocking around somewhere. That I've.
No, I am bougie with an eye mask, I'm afraid.
Oh dear me.
Do you not sleep on the flights, John? I find that I have to. There's times when I get on the flight and I'm falling asleep before it's even taken off.
Yeah, but I do.
That's usually related to how much I've had a drink, how much I've drunk in the lounge on the way out.
But see, on the way out, I'm that excited I can't sleep. So on the way back, I've got to admit there was one time I went to Boston with my brother, and he very kindly used all his air miles and stuff because with his work, he gets bucket loads of it. So we came back first class. Did I sleep? No chance.
You've got to make the most of it.
It was once in a lifetime thing to do. And I'm there, and the poor stewardess, and well, I say that, but she was probably quite glad because it meant that she ticked one off the list. Breakfast came round. That was great because I hadn't slept. I'd gone to the bar bit and sat there for a bit, and my brother's fast asleep and stuff. I had the most amazing flight. It was great. I'm saying no more because I'll incriminate myself, but it's just like, yeah, I don't know. I don't sleep.
That's the way out for me. That's always the way out. If you're in
most
business or first, you have to turbo everything, drink the entire cocktail menu within the first hour and a half of the flight, eat every single thing they've got on offer, and then crash out of sleep because you need to sleep off all the alcohol.
Yeah.
And then you'll arrive bright and fresh and feeling great when you arrive in Florida.
Absolutely.
Yeah. There you go.
Yeah. So,
with your 6 bags.
Yeah. if you're picking up a car at the other side, that is not the right way to do it. Obviously, just saying, just in case someone's listening and wants to get
drink responsibly, and always take that into consideration.
And also,
or pick up your car the next day.
Yeah, I've done that before. That's a far better idea.
Yeah, consider what you're doing when you get the other end. Sensible bit.
Yeah. Because we are all sensible human beings, and actually getting out of Orlando Airport.
John, have we helped you tonight with your list? Of
what have you got to go and buy? Packing cubes, super glue, molded eye mask.
I've got air tags. I'm not buying all that malarkey with that. Actually, Simon's idea of buying a strip plug with USBs in it is actually the one that I think that's a good one. I've got air tags to go in, but I never thought about having them ready to go in the pile that's sitting over just there to me. But everything else we seem to be quite well organized. Also, I thought. I've just got a gimbal to buy. I think we're just about there.
And the thing is, if there's something you forget, there's so many places in Orlando that you can go and get something if you've forgotten to pack it.
Yeah, I could tell you every one of them, Ben, for when my bag didn't turn up way back in 2011.
I think that is the thing, right? We have to remember it's another Western country, right? Very familiar. Yeah. And ultimately, if you don't take something, you can pretty much find a way of getting it.
Yeah. And things now,
even if it means Amazon, you could order it on Amazon and delivered somewhere.
Than they were like
phone a friend.
10, 12 years ago. Because we ended up, because I was looking for a charger for a handheld camcorder that had to be a specific brand, that had to be a specific charger for that particular camcorder. And we went for ages and ages. It was, and when you feel really stupid now because everything is on your phone,
and
it just becomes so much more simple and so much more. We actually don't appreciate just how much the mobile phone has just cut out so much of the rubbish.
Into that camera shop on the 192.
I know. And get ripped off. You get ripped off and use it.
I bought a lens. I bought a 7300 lens in there.
Wow,
it was very good though. Still got it. Never use it.
Imagine though if we still had old school video cameras, and imagine what
the
video footage would like.
There must be an app that will take a video in the style of an old style camcorder.
I'm sure there's a.
Maybe we should do that.
I'm sure somewhere on YouTube there's a channel that has something that feels exactly.
I have to go and look for the app.
It reminds me there is a YouTube channel that I come across. If I can find the link, I'll post it in the Waffler's Arms. Of someone posting videos of Walt Disney World in the 90s.
Well, we have that as a plan for a show for the future.
Yeah.
With some friends.
Yeah.
Are we gonna have to do that in like videotape style?
I think we should.
Yeah.
Just lines rolling
I've definitely
down.
got photos of me from the 90s in
Walt
Disney World. And I'm fairly certain the couple of people we've got lined up to join us for that show will have photos as well.
Yeah.
It'd be awesome.
I need the date and clock in the bottom corner.
You'll be able to tell from the length of the shorts.
with the wrong date, it was had to do with my parents. That was it. It was just doesn't matter.
What happens halfway through? It gets taped over.
The Kevin Keegan girls or the
school nativity or a school play.
The Chris Waddle curly mullet going on.
Oh wow! Yeah.
But yeah, I think tonight has been a really good show. It went off a bit of a gremlin start, but we managed to do quite well, didn't we?
Carrie's just mentioned cornhole.
Oh,
that's not long.
Yes, uniforms. I haven't sorted out uniforms. I'm still sorting out my Halloween costume.
Yeah,
I can't believe tomorrow is August.
Yeah, you just said that, right? Anyone who's watching this on YouTube, right? If you're watching the cat,
if you're watching in October, it's not.
Just look. I just became so aware when you said that. My eyes just went totally up to the top right-hand part of my computer screen just to double check. It was August tomorrow. I'm just like, oh my word.
And what does that mean? A new episode is out tomorrow. A new podcast.
It is.
Wow.
Where we compare. Let me get rid of that. There we go. Annual passes versus multi-day tickets.
And I've got to say, Ben, I've had a conversation with someone locally. I know Simon won't mind me using his name because he does watch, but they ninja watch. They don't always come in the chat, things like that. Ninja watch. But Simon, who lives close to me, they had something very, very similar recently where they only planned doing Disney for about 3 days. Yeah. And they're in that predicament, and actually was able to share with him exactly what we spoke about during that show. So, again, I know I keep dropping this in throughout the show. If you're planning a trip, then this is where the Wednesday show fits in with the podcast, which fits in, hopefully, with making your trip that little bit easier and that little bit better. Because unless you're taking your Louis Vuitton and 65 cases like Claire, we know where everyone else is at.
Do you know the ridiculous thing is though? You laugh about me and all my cases. When I get in the car to go to the airport, I will literally go, have I got my passport? Yeah. Have I got my credit card? Yeah. Have I got my annual pass? Yeah. I've got my phone and a charger. I'm good. If I haven't got something, it doesn't matter.
There you go. And that's exactly
I've
it.
just got
I
visions.
just got
so
6
you-
bags
you-
of stuff.
I've just got visions of you leaving like 3 bags behind you, just driving off. I was like, I'll just sort it out when I get there.
I am. Do you know what? I'm like the professional traveller now because I have my backpack that actually has got one of those straps that sits on the handle of the suitcase, so I can take.
Yes, you can
I get
put
to
that on.
put my backpack, and I just walk through with my cases alongside me into the. Yeah, that is literally how I do it. And you think I'm bad? You should watch my daughter. She's even worse. My little mini me.
Oh, bless.
Oh, I can't wait. We're
Can't
going to be
wait.
back.
I can't wait to meet her again.
Yeah.
It's going to be fun. We've got lots of
it
fun
really is.
planned over the next few weeks. So I was going to just say, I know that we've got a new podcast out tomorrow.
Yeah.
Do keep tuned. Do keep an eye on our socials, because the fact is, you know, John's got 8 days. I've got 11 days. We are going to be out and about, and we're probably going to be sharing stuff and uploading stuff and going live at various points that who knows what's going to happen.
That's something I need to do, Claire. Right on me, put it on my list is actually to get my phone to actually log into all of our stuff.
Yeah.
Because
you never know.
Walking around the park with me my laptop that I usually do the show on, that's not going to work, is it? So I'm going to actually all the
But you've got
stuff.
a really long
after,
extension
go
lead.
Yeah, I know.
That's quite the strip plug.
25-meter lead.
Yeah, but I mean, that's one thing I need to just log in. Oh, see, I'm writing all this down.
But there will be content popping up. Who knows where?
Oh yeah,
This is
has
gonna
to
be
be.
fun.
Has to be.
I'm just waiting for like my phone to go off like 3 a.m. Go like, that live. What am I missing out on?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it won't be Ben. It'll be
Oh.
Ben. Can you send me the login?
Yeah.
Oh, can you do 2-factor authentication? It's
Yeah.
like because
Yes.
John's wanting to go live and he can't go live because actually he can't get. It'll be the usual technological sort of disaster that we've become used to.
Yeah, definitely. So we'll be back next Wednesday, and I'm hoping that with all our suitcases packed lightly, you'll have even more room to bring back some of that must-have merchandise that you can't resist buying.
Oh,
So what we're going to be talking about, pins, lounge fly. I know Beth is looking forward to talking about that.
Ben, someone sent me a photo of a T-shirt yesterday that he went and bought, but I think there may be more being bought when we arrive there. I'm saying no more until next week. And actually, I'll see what Josh's work pattern is. I dread to think how much he's bought so far, Claire. And I think he's shocked at how much Morg's bought. So if either of them are not working next week, we could just see what the haul of merch is.
I can't
wait to see how much Lego Morg has bought.
I don't know.
He hasn't bought any Lego.
Yet.
He's bought 0
He was
Lego.
on strict instructions. Yeah, because he hasn't got space to bring it back.
Yeah.
We shall see what happens.
Brilliant.
So yeah, I just want to thank you everyone in the chat for watching, and everyone that's joined us on the podcast on Friday and on the replay too. So be sure to follow us on social media. We are everywhere at GB Mickey Waffle. So for more travel inspiration and behind the scenes fun. So until next time, have a magical trip.
I'll try.
Now my wheels in motion and my windows open with the wind blowing.